Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Now today I wanted to show you how I won this position, which looks anything but winnable for black because we're basically a pawn down, and we also have double pawns here. So this should be a draw with perfect play because we have opposite colored bishops, which is usually just a draw even if you're a pawn or two pawns down, as you can see here. But of course we played for a win because we always do, and I just played king to e7 here, trying to get my king closer to the center. Now here he played king to d3, doing the same. I played f6 because I couldn't move, this pawn was just hanging, so that's why I played f6. And now after f4, I played bishop to c5. I wanted to start attacking some pawns here. My threat is basically already to play something like this, and after he moves to go here, and I'm going to win a pawn. So that's why here he played h3 to avoid this, but okay, I still attacked the pawn and also attacked another pawn here. Then this is not a problem, of course. He just played king to e4, but now I just waited because I don't have anything better to do here. I mean, if I played something like king to d6 here, he could have played bishop to f7, and after g5 that he would take here and just have a road here for his king, and also my pawns are not great here. I have to just defend this pawn here, and he can play, let's say, h4. Or just king here. So that's why I didn't want to, move my king closer to the center, and I just waited with my bishop. So now he played h4, trying to at least try something, and I played the bishop to g3, attacking the pawn. And now after h5, I saw this really interesting idea, which is still drawn, but I played f5 check. Now the point of f5 here is that I basically want him to take on f5, so then I can take on h5, of course, and create myself a passed pawn here, which could then give me some chances, So that's why after, f5, a better move for him would be something like king to f3, just attacking my bishop, after which I would have to move my bishop, of course. But still, after he takes here, I take here. He's now 2 pawns up, as you can see. He also has an extra pawn here, as well as here. But it's not a problem because he can't do anything with this pawn. I mean, if he pushes it, then we will just take it. And we can always control this f6 square with our bishop. And he can't make any progress. That's why opposite color bishops are almost always a draw. But okay, he didn't do this, and after f5, he just took. I took on h5, happily creating myself a passed pawn, and now king to e5. You can see that this king is really active, and my king looks pretty passive. But like I said, it's not a problem. We're controlling the dark squares, and he can't do anything about it. So now I thought it's a good time to push my pawn, and he just stopped my pawn from, going forward. And here I just moved my bishop, because I mean, what else am I going to do? If I move these pawns, then I'm just weakening my pawns, so I just want to leave them at these squares. I also don't want to move my king because it's perfectly sitting here. I can't move my pawns, so the only thing is to move my bishop, and I moved it. So here he just blocked my pawn, and I went back. Now he didn't see anything better but to push his pawns here, and I just moved my bishop again. And while he's moving the pawns, I'm now getting a bit active with my bishop, and I'm starting to attack some pawns. Here I attacked it again. Now it might be tempting to play something like king to d7 now to stop the king from, going closer to my pawns. But now he has this discard check, with f6, and we certainly don't want this. So that's why I just, moved my bishop, and he went for my pawns with the king. Now this might seem like a really good plan for white, but as you're going to see, I don't need this pawn. If he takes it, well, I just have to protect this pawn with my bishop, and now I will go ahead and take some of his pawns. I just took this pawn here, and after he went there, I played my king to d6. And after he took the pawn, just king to c5, defending the pawn. And now what's funny here is that he has 3 pawns against my 1 pawn, but they can't do anything. They're useless basically. And I also have an extra pawn here on this side of the board. So yeah, what can he do? He moved his king now, and I played bishop to d2. I basically want to go to a5 to protect this pawn, and to free my king from protecting the pawn, so the king can go and take some pawns. So here he moved the bishop and I played bishop to a5. Now this is a very nice plan here because my king is a really important piece in the endgame and his king is pretty bad now. I can just start attacking his pawns. So here he moved the bishop and I played king to b4. He moved the king now and I took the pawn. I'm also, by the way, attacking this pawn, so he has to do something about it, and he just defended it. Now king to b4 back, basically going for another pawn. So there goes the first suspicious move, and this is f6. But I mean, it's just not worth it. So I just took the pawn, and now, as you can see, he basically has to play bishop to e6 to stop my king from coming to this square. Because yeah, now if I go for this pawn, he's just going to activate with his king, and I'm not going to be able to win this position because this bishop is controlling these two pawns nicely. But he didn't play this. He basically played the bishop to f5, which is a blunder, and now we're actually winning. The point is, of course, like I said before, he lets me to go to this square and control this king. This king cannot go here now, and it's really limited. And after he plays bishop to e6 check now, well, now we're here and we're active with our king. We're going to help our pawns here, and his king is really just bad. Okay, so now he played c4 with the idea that if I go somewhere, he wants to play c5 to create himself a passed pawn. As you might start to see, even if he does this, we could also sacrifice this bishop for the last pawn and then just win with these two pawns against the bishop, as you're going to see. Now I played king to e5, attacking the bishop with a tempo, and he just moved the bishop. Now f5. I start to move my pawns forward, and now, like I said, he played c5. And I just took the pawn. Of course, he saw that if he pushes the pawn, then well, I can just take this guy. And after he recaptures, with these three pawns, I'm completely winning. I can just push this pawn, and I mean, he can stop this one, but then this one goes, and it's just completely over. So yeah, that's why after I took on c5, he just recaptured the back now. And now, yeah, the winning move is just king to e6. And what I'm going to do here is just going to push this pawn up the board and win this bishop for a pawn. And then this pawn is going to promote to a queen. That's basically it. But since this was a blitz game, I just played this move, which is a terrible move, of course, because he can play bishop to g2, controlling this pawn from moving forward, also this one, and also blocking this king from ever coming forward. So this means that it's going to be a draw now. I can't do anything. Also, if I try to go somewhere here, he's probably just going to play something like this, and I can't do anything with my king. So that's why this is a draw. But he didn't see it. He played king to f5, and I just happily went over to this e4 square. And now I just played king to f3, and at this point, it's really nothing he can do. And he saw that he moved closer with the king. If he went here, of course, we just take this guy, attack this bishop here, and after it moves, just h3, and we're going to promote to a queen now. But yeah, he saw what's coming and just went closer. I gave him a check, and now I attack the bishop, of course. It has to move somewhere, and now f3. The point, of course, is that I'm blocking this bishop. If it goes here, I'm just going to push this pawn, and it's just going to promote to a queen. And that's a good game. So a very important ability of every great chess player should be that you're able to spot these tiny hidden opportunities to slowly turn the game over in your favor and then just win the game. So guys, if you like this video, please drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.